And joining us now, President of Business Operations with our Milwaukee Brewers. He is Rick Schlesinger. Rick, thanks so much for jumping on the show today.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So you've been with the Milwaukee Brewers, let's see, the website says 23 years. I know that the Brewers have been in your heart for much longer than that. You've never seen 70 and 44 before because nobody's seen 70 and 44 before. What's your first reaction to how good are these guys right now?
Yeah, I mean it's been crazy how we've won some games, and it's not one guy; it's just everybody participating. It's Murph when he picks out the lineup seems to have the magic touch, and our starting pitching has been phenomenal, timely clutch hitting. I think it helps that we're not reliant on just one or two players. Everybody in the lineup is contributing. Every relief pitcher is contributing. So there's not a lot of burden on one particular star or player, and it's infectious. When you have the confidence, it feeds into your ability to be calm at the plate and weather through some things. And it's it's momentum. It's all the great things that sports is all about. So we're having a fun time here, and let's keep it going.
Absolutely. Rick Schlesinger, Milwaukee Brewers, joining us, Thunder at the Fair. We see these national articles about Matt Arnold and the baseball side and everything going on with the trade deadline. There weren't big deals at the trade deadline, but obviously Miz was called up before that and Andrew Vaughn was acquired before that. How is your job affected on the business side of things when there's this amount of excitement? I mean, I'm at the fair and it is Brewers gear everywhere. Like, how does it affect your job when the Brewers are playing this well?
Yeah, I mean, it makes my job a lot easier. So, we're going to have 3 sellouts this weekend, and I think that makes 7 consecutive sellouts, which is we haven't had that since 2008, if my memory serves.
That is
so
awesome.
It's great. We're the business to win baseball games and win a World Series, and anything that we're doing on the field to reach that goal is great for our business. And people are buying the gear, as you notice. People are buying tickets. They're parking, they're buying our food and beverage items. It's great. And, it's great for our partners, our sponsors, our suite holders, our season seat holders who have been through thick and thin with us. And, yeah, it's great to reward them with some great baseball.
No doubt about it. I have a guy, one of your faithful team members who I email with and put together some groups from time to time. And we're trying to find a date in September right now because, I usually put together one group a year. And it's around Memorial Day weekend, and we did it this year. You were invited to. Remember, we did do the French toast, we did do the breakfast tailgating, but we're trying to find another date because all my friends were like, "Hey, Mitch, we got to do it. If we can find a date that works for everybody, let's do a September date." We've never done a September date, but and these are these are mostly transplants to Milwaukee who have adopted the Brewers. But I wouldn't say are hardcore Brewers fans, but they're all reaching out to me like, Mitch, we got to put together another group. We got to do this again. Like, we had so much fun the first time, and they're so good. I mean, it's, talking to your job being a little easier because there's more people interested. People really are interested, Rick.
Yeah, no, we're seeing, whether you look at our TV ratings, which are phenomenal. I think we're second in Major League Baseball among all 30 clubs in ratings. Our hits to the website, our social media engagement, our ticket sales, all the numbers are off the charts. It's, we've been very good for many years of late, but yeah, to get this kind of phenomenon with Mizorowski and Andrew Vaughn and getting Woodruff back and just, what Matt Arnold and his baseball operations staff has been able to do is just create this amazing chemistry. And then you got Murph and you can't give enough credit to the manager for making everybody play with a sense of urgency, and it's fun. It's a fun team to watch, and we're enjoying it. I'm a big fan, so I love watching the games. I get paid to watch the games. It's a pretty good gig. So I don't want to take a pay cut. So if my owner's listening, I don't want to take a pay cut. But
no, you're good. You're good.
Part of it. It's great to be part of the organization right now.
Rick Schlesinger, President, Business Operations with the Milwaukee Brewers. So I got a press release today, Rick. It came over about an hour ago, 10:04. Murph's Pocket Pancakes make their American Family Field debut. Stop by the first and third base Ward chicken stands on Sunday home games starting this Sunday, August 10th, and Pat Murphy's mid-game munchies. These warm, fluffy pancakes were created to be enjoyed on the go. Perfect for game day snacking. Rick, first question, have you had Murph's Pocket Pancakes? And second question, could you ever have imagined that this was one of the things that people were going to, attach themselves to and get this excited about?
Yeah, I haven't. I will on Sunday because that's when we get them released to the public. But you never know, what's going to capture the fancy of the public. And Murph is so authentic and so genuine that when he says something, whether it's a nickname for a player that makes no sense or the pancakes from his pocket during an interview, it's just he's a character, and so the fans have embraced this, and we thought, well, Murph's all about authenticity and doing something a little crazy once in a while. So we said, let's do it. So yeah, we're excited about launching the Murph's Pocket Pancakes on Sunday.
Yeah, that's going to be great. And whether you're going this Sunday or you've plans to be there at a future Sunday, it's all Sunday home games right till the end of the season. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. Am I allowed to say the P word? Like, are people, like, I'm sure internally, like, you have to, like, there are plans already in place because, on the business side of things, you have to have things ready to go, whatever direction things go. But do you, do you believe in fans being maybe not superstitious, but maybe a little stitious about saying the P word? How do you feel about the P word right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think, baseball is a game that lends itself to superstitions, and, the players have them and we have them in the office. But, the reality is, as you said, is you got to plan. So, Major League Baseball, basically tells all the teams to start planning as early as June. And obviously you don't know what's going to happen, and still a lot of games left to go. But sure, we've got to plan. We've got to prepare for when we release tickets for sale for postseason. We obviously have to prepare for all of the, potential festivities and all of the additional staffing that's needed for postseason, and work closely with Major League Baseball. But yeah, you don't know because you don't know you're in. You don't know when you're going to play. You don't know who you're going to play, and you don't know the specific games you're going to play. So we're happy to be in the situation where we're starting to think about it because we've been doing this a lot, so we're pretty good at it. But it'd be great to get in and know who we're playing and just keep the ride going.
Yeah, and it's I think that's right. Like I'm staying a little stitious. I'm staying a little stitious with that. But I'm trying to figure out what how to feel about that. Rick Schlesinger, President, Business Operations with our Milwaukee Brewers, joining us right now. What other promotions do you have coming up this weekend and then this week? Because I know it's we've got the Mets in town and then the Pirates are in town during the weekdays next week. What other exciting things do you have besides Pocket Pancakes on Sunday?
Yeah. Well, Saturday is the Christian Yelich bobblehead. The first 25,000 fans through the turnstiles will get a Yelich bobblehead. Sunday is the Mizorowski T-shirt. First 25 fans on Sunday get the T-shirt. Then we got obviously 3 tough games with the Mets. Then the Pirates. We have another T-shirt giveaway. The first 10,000 fans on Tuesday. And then we just announced an Andrew Vaughn T-shirt giveaway for later in August. We're running out of dates because I think we have 25 home games left to go, and at least regular season home games. So we're trying to pack in as much excitement and get people excited as possible. And you can never run short of things to promote the players because our fans love these guys. And Mizorowski, every time he pitches here, it's a sellout. Andrew Vaughn is certainly the story of the summer. And a tremendous story for him and a great personal story of perseverance. And Woodruff coming back, being so dominant after missing almost 2 years of baseball, it shows his dedication. There's a lot of great storylines. And then we got a bunch of Rookie of the Year candidates. We can't forget about Isaac Collins, Caleb Durbin, Chad Patrick. The list goes on. It's a lot of cool stories this year.
And I think that's so we want to thank you for that, Rick. Because that has absolutely helped us on the sports radio side when we have, 2-3 hour shows to talk about a team that has so many different storylines. It's like you're absolutely right. You talk about the starting pitchers, and then it's like, all right, well, we have 7 or 8 starting pitchers, and what do we do with them? And then Nestor gets traded, and Miz is on the injured list for a little while, and it's like that settles itself. But then it's all the rookies, and it's like, where did Isaac Collins come from? And how is this guy in the Rookie of the Year conversation? Like, nobody had even heard. I mean, we had the play-by-play voice of the Nashville Sounds on earlier, and he said the same thing about the beginning of last year. Like, he made the Nashville Sounds team last year, and nobody knew who he was there. Like he came out of nowhere and had a really nice season in AAA last year, and now the same thing happened. Like, injury, Garrett Mitchell, who we still, I think, have hopes that he'll be able to stay healthy and hit his potential. But Isaac Collins has come in and been and he's an infielder who's playing outfield for the first time in his career and is playing, pretty much the best left field of any. I mean, you look at his WAR, which takes in the defensive numbers, and he's better than any other rookie. He's better than any other left fielder. It's like, how does this happen? Like, Rick, how do we get to a place where Isaac Collins, Caleb Durbin, Chad Patrick, Logan Hendrick, like all these names that people, unless you were really hardcore into the organization, you didn't really know who these guys were coming into the season, and they are playing big parts in the success of the team this year.
Yeah, I mean, again, you look at our baseball operations department and what they do in terms of drafting players and finding players that other teams have given up on. And, it's our coaching staff in the minor league level and the major league level who can, look at these players and give them some advice and have them activated. So it's a real team effort, no pun intended, where everybody in the baseball side is really adding a tremendous contribution to creating value out of players. And it is obviously you're always going to be subject to injuries, and baseball is the toughest sport to be consistent in. So you have to plan for some inconsistency. You have to plan for players to get hurt, and you got to have a good backstop of core players in your system. And the proof is in the pudding this year. We started out losing all of our starting pitching. Woodruff was out. Cortez got hurt. We had Freddie, and then a bunch of guys nobody heard of. And now, it's great to have excess pitching, but you never have enough pitching. You never have enough people in the system. So it's been great that we've overcome injuries to Perkins and Garrett Mitchell, and people have made the most out of their opportunities. And the culture here is tremendous. And again, coaching, baseball ops, analytics people all deserve a ton of credit.
No doubt about it, and it's been absolutely fun to watch. And I do want to ask you about the King Vaughn T-shirt, because I saw that design come out earlier this week, and I will say I love the design of the shirt. I'm a little hesitant, as good as Andrew Vaughn's been, he's been here for a month, and to crown him king, to me, Christian Yelich is the king of this team. Brandon Woodruff is the king of this team. And I know that Andrew Vaughn has been unbelievable. Like, his OPS, he's 1,100 plus is just ridiculous in a month's time. But I am the little stitious person in me is like, man, do we really want to crown him king after just 1 month? So I'm a little hesitant with that nickname to start to go with when it comes to Andrew Vaughn. That's
what people are calling him. I don't think Andrew Vaughn is calling himself king. I think that's sort of what people have come up with. And he's like you said, he's been tremendous. But he's one component of many. And we're just having fun looking at a guy who was a highly ranked prospect, had some trouble, and fell off the radar screen. And we were fortunate that the White Sox made him available when we traded Aaron Savali. So, unsung hero is Aaron Savali, who asked to be traded.
We do thank him every day on this show.
Yeah, yep. We'll definitely send him a thank you note. But, it's great to see Andrew Vaughn, who also plays a nifty first base. And just really integrate himself with the fans. And what a clutch player. He seems to come up with a clutch home run, clutch defense, clutch hits, and it's great. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, he really is. I saw that and I was like, we've been talking about that a little bit, that we're not totally comfortable with the King moniker, even if fans are calling him that, but he's absolutely been a huge positive influence on this team. And then let's just talk about Jacob Mizorowski for a little bit, because he's on the injured list now, and I think we all pretty much agree that he didn't really need to go on the injured list, but when you have a rookie of this talent with this type and has only pitched the most innings he's ever pitched before in his career. He's basically already hit that number. So there's some load management in there. And then literally 100% of Brewers fans that I've talked to at least totally understand that and totally agree with it. Like they don't like it doesn't make sense to pitch him August 3rd against the Washington Nationals when you need to save some of those innings for the Cubs in the middle of August or late September or again, knock on wood, October and those types of innings. But what type of impact has he had on the franchise, making the All-Star game? Every time he pitches, he's got that goofy smile on his face, and it's like, man, how refreshing is it to just see a kid up there on the mound, 6'7", like he's halfway to home plate when he releases the ball, and he's just got a goofy smile on his face the whole time. I love it.
Yeah, he's a remarkable guy. I mean, I people forget he's young, but he sort of is unflappable. He sort of is taking all this fame and attention in stride and focused on doing what he does best, which is pitching. And he's learning how to pitch to major league players at the major league level in a sort of a instant hot water mess here. And you come in and he's doing great. And I think what I like about him is he makes adjustments. He's learning. He's a rookie, so he's going to have some innings where things don't go well. We saw that in a couple of games, and he was able to bounce back from a tough first inning against the Cubs and pitch really well after that. To me, that was maturity. That was learning. And again, this guy has a funky delivery, but it works, and his height and his velocity give him edges. And I wouldn't want to be a hitter trying to face that guy because you only have a third of a second to decide where the ball is going to be swung at, and with his release point being so much closer to home plate, that's achieved even more.
And then you mentioned it as well. I mean, every time he pitches, it's a sellout. So on the business side of things, he's been a boon there as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. So, we have – I told our GM to only pitch Miz at home for the rest of the year, but he wouldn't listen to me. But, we haven't seen this kind of phenomenon in my tenure. I mean, maybe when CC Sabathia came, but there was a lot of other things going on. That was, the Brewers' first run to a postseason in 25 years. Right. This year, Miz is really, in terms of, just creating the attention and national attention. Not only do we sell out, the ratings for those games are fantastic. People are buying his jersey and his T-shirts, and it's a phenomenon, and we're just hanging on to his coattails, and he'll take us as far as he can take us.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch, and it's that interesting contrast of like him doing what he's doing, and then Woodruff doing what he's doing, the way he's been able to come and then during the season, he had a couple setbacks, minor setbacks, but the timetable kept getting moved back, and I feel like whatever happened, it happened for a reason, and it worked out the way it was supposed to work out because he's been basically unhittable since he came back.
Yeah, Woodruff has been tremendous. I think the fact that his control is pinpoint, because the hardest thing for a pitcher after a long layover is control. It's not so much velocity, and he's got the velocity, but he's got such great control. And he also is such a master at knowing how to pitch, and that comes with just a veteran, savvy type of guy that he is, and how much he takes care to prepare for his starts, how much research he does. This is a guy who knows exactly who he's facing and what their weaknesses are, and he knows how to exploit it. And it's great because he's worked so hard for the comeback, and now we're getting the benefits of it. But equally for Woodruff is this is a testament to his own ability to bounce back and overcome a serious injury. And I'm just so pleased for him personally and for his family.
Rick, I have one question
go ahead, Tommy.
for you here. This is Tommy Wirtz, producer for Thunder at the Fair today. I wanted to bring up with just how much this lineup has turned over and this roster has turned over all season, right? I mean, people are going to forget that Elvin Rodriguez started the home opener of this season right now for the Milwaukee Brewers. But talking about the culture, going back to that comment, like, what does that say about the Brewers culture, that how a lot of this chemistry can be maintained with all the roster turnover all season, where Jacob Mizorowski comes in and seemingly now he's playing pranks in the dugout, right? And Isaac Collins or Logan Henderson, right? He has to come up whenever he's asked to come up, and he's showed out on the field as well. And now even with Andrew Vaughn, who comes in, and in a month he's getting shirts that say King Vaughn on it, right? I just wanted to ask you, like, what does that say about the Brewers culture and the clubhouse specifically, that the chemistry can be just maintained no matter who the bodies are in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit on something. The culture is really important. These guys spend a lot of time with each other for 183 days, starting in mid-February all the way to hopefully deep in October. And it starts in the minor leagues. It starts with the organization having a consistent sort of philosophy and consistent way of what we expect of our players and what the players expect of themselves. And when they come to the majors in Milwaukee after spending time, whether it's Nashville, Biloxi, Appleton, Carolina, they already know the Brewers way, and the Brewers way is on the field and off the field. And you hold yourself with respect, you treat your teammates with respect, you do things in the community, and you play the game the right way. And it's low ego, and it's all about execution, and it's all about just continuing to find within you those extra things you need to perform at a very high level in a very difficult profession called Major League Baseball.
Is that something that's led like by the players, by Pat Murphy, by GM Matt Arnold, or even higher up than that? Where does that stem from?
Yeah, it's really, it requires everybody. I think the manager, both in Milwaukee and our managers down in the minor leagues, have a lot of influence. The players ultimately, they're the ones who sort of are the custodians of the culture. And you got veterans like Woodruff and Yelich, and even Rhys Hoskins, who's obviously hurt, but Rhys is a leader in the clubhouse. And these guys sort of show the younger players, how to perform both on and off the field, and what maturity to bring, what professional to bring. You don't bring in your ego. You check it at the door, and you root for your teammates, and you help them. And I think the players look around and say, God, you got a star like Yelich, and he grinds it out. He plays every day, and he cares, and he's always working to improve himself. And all of these guys have struggled at some point in their careers, and overcoming the struggles is something that's really important. And you got players who have the ability to show the players, here's how you overcome a slump, and here's what you do when you just root an error that costs the game. And these guys learn. And again, the culture's infectious, and winning obviously helps a lot, for sure. But I think it's an organizational-wide thing. It starts with everybody on the baseball side of the equation.
Do you guys say the power of friendship in the business operations room, Rick?
Yeah, we're sort of taking a similar tact. I mean, I think in the business operations side, we're obviously not under the pressure that a player is to perform in front of 40,000 people, but I think we take our job seriously. It's collaborative, low ego. It's not about who gets credit for an idea. It's about how we execute the good ideas, and also how to, not be afraid to take some risks. And in the business side, you're not always going to succeed. But if you don't take risks, you're never going to succeed ultimately. So it's fun to be in an environment where we have a lot of talented people in the business side, and we're here to support the baseball side. And when the baseball side is carrying the load like it is now, we just hang on.
He is the president business operations for the Major League Baseball team with the best record in all of Major League Baseball. The Milwaukee Brewers are 70-44. He is Rick Schlesinger. Rick, to wrap things up, how are ticket sales for the rest of the year? And if I was interested in making sure I got to the P word, if I wanted to ensure that I had availability or an opportunity to get tickets, if when the P word happens in Milwaukee, how do I make sure that I get in on that?
Yeah, well, ticket sales are really strong. We're it's about 7.5% ahead of last year at the same point, and I think that number is going to continue to increase. And the best way to get postseason tickets, if you're not already a season seat holder, is to we have ways for you to sign up for season seats for 2026. We'll be announcing specific opportunities for those people who sign up for 2026 season tickets, how they can get some priority access to 2025 postseason. And we'll be making those announcements in a few weeks. But yeah, I mean, I think we're planning for a lot of fun here in October, and the team's doing amazing work here, and we're just enjoying ourselves. And the goal is obviously to win the World Series, and that's the mission statement of the Brewers. And every year we try to get there, and we haven't done it as an organization, but no time like the present.
No time like the present. I totally agree. Rick, thank you so much for taking the time today. Really appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your pancakes on Sunday, and we will definitely catch up soon.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That is Rick Schlesinger, president, business operations for our Milwaukee Brewers, and it's just I feel like Andy Herman should be here because it's all just like positivity and sunshine and all good things going on with our Milwaukee Brewers right now. It's hard not to when you have the best record in Major League Baseball, and then the Mets are coming to town, and you throw Woody at them, and you throw Logan Henderson at them, and you throw Quinn Priester at them, and it's like, here, have some of this, Metropolitans.
Isn't it like every week it's just like, wow, these are my 3 favorite pitchers pitching in a series? And
right.
It
doesn't matter which 3 or how they line up. These are my 3 favorite pitchers right now. Like
every week.
Even a guy, and we talk about it, like even a guy like Jose Quintana, who's like the least dominant of all the pitchers. He's 9-4, and every time he goes out, he gives you a chance to win. Like he's not going to go out and strike out 12 guys in 5 innings like all the rest of the pitchers have the ability to. But he's just going to go out and just professionally, kind of like Bill Contreras is our professional hitter. Jose Quintana is a professional pitcher. That's all he is. He's just a professional pitcher. He just goes out and does his job. Our thanks again to Rick Schlesinger joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. 1 call, that's all. We're just getting started here on Thunder at the Fair. Lots of fun to get into. Brewers lineup thoughts. I got to mention Paul Skeens because he's unbelievable. And then we got to get into bubble wrap and the Packers and the Jets tomorrow night because one potential starting quarterback already injured in the NFL. I'd say, like, who really cares because of who it is, but it's still something to keep our eye on. He's Tommy Wirtz. My name's Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. This is Thunder at the Fair on The Fan.